welcome everyone. My name is Mitchell.
I'm Stevie.
I'm Skaji.
And welcome to Books, Beans, and Candles Tea and Tarot podcast, located in Birmingham, Alabama. For those who don't know, and before Tracy can say, hey, by the way, where are we? And of course, remind me that we're in Birmingham. So a couple things we have coming up. We do have the Psychic Fair on September 30th. We are taking pre-registrations now, so if you want to call or come by the shop, you can go ahead and reserve your spot. Because sometimes it does fill up, you know, it's you come the day of, you're like, I want to do this. I'm sorry, all the slots are full, because we do 10-minute readings every 15 minutes. So there are set slots, so it's not like you just come in and whoever's open, it doesn't work that way. So when you get in, you'll see there's a list to sign up on, or you can come early and do it. And of course, it's just $15 per readings, and we'll have astrology, Ogham, rune, tarot, ancestor readings, henna, throwing the bones, or photography, runes. I think I said that. I said runes, palmistry. Okay, a lot of different things going on here.
Did you say astrology?
I did say astrology. That's first. So a lot of different things coming up. That, of course, that night before, and our special guest will be Ella Dugan.
Yes.
Who'll be doing tarot. She'll also be teaching class with me on magical salves, and we'll be doing some sachets as well. So it's a workshop. So come in and we'll spend 2 hours, and you'll walk away with some stuff. So that class is $75 if you sign up before September. After September, it will be $95 because we got to buy materials. So if you want to do that, go ahead and sign up. And it is limited, and we are a third full. So it's already starting to fill up. Other than that, we do have, you know, future things, Krampus, Samhain ritual, things that we'll, you know, announce throughout. Of course, Facebook will have all the events on it. But we will be doing a public Samhain ritual here. So that'll be on November the 4th. Okay. All right, you guys got anything else before we just jump in?
No.
Okay. So for September's Tea and Tarot, I will be using the HP deck, and that is based off Harry Potter.
I'll be using the Slow Holler deck. It's a fun Kickstarter deck, so.
Go ahead.
And I'm using the Robin Hood.
All right. So Tracy, you want to go first this time?
I'll go first this time. And this is a continuation of what I've started before.
Hang on. What big thing we left out?
What?
Tea and Tarot.
The thing we do.
Yeah, the thing we're doing the podcast for.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be the first Friday in September.
Which
So
is September the 1st.
first. That 6:30 to about 8:30ish.
8:30, yeah.
It's free. We provide you tea, and you come in. You learn new spreads. Some probably the ones we're doing tonight. And of course, you get to help read and practice with each other. So it's a free thing we do. So it's the first Friday of the month, September 1st in this case, at 6:30.
And this is a no experience necessary kind of thing. I always bring extra decks, even if you don't have one. I'll loan you one. And we have some folks that are very helpful. If you don't have a lot of experience and you're nervous about it, there's a lot of support. It's a very safe space to learn, and that's what it's for.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun. So enjoy. All right, go ahead, take it away, Tracy.
Yeah. So this spread is for the autumn equinox, and it's a continuation of the spreads I'm doing for the wheel of the year. And it's based on the idea not only as autumn equinox, some know it as Mabon, as the second harvest, but it's also based around that equinox idea of equal day and night and a transition from the summer heat into autumn. And so it has a sort of transitional phase to it. It's an 8-card spread. I need to move my cards into frame.
Yes. Hang on, I can help you out here.
I need all the help I can get.
How about that? Zoomed out a little bit for you there.
Excellent.
Because we could do that.
So in this spread, we have our starting place at the beginning of the equinox season. This represents that last ditch energy of summertime, the last things we got to get done, represents that harvest kind of energy. And this side over here represents that moving towards the slower, more introspective part of the year as it develops into Samhain and through the winner. This starts off with where we're coming from here, sort of what we got to do. That one's kind of weird. Challenges we may face and how we resolve this action, moving into the things we need to begin to look inward for. Again, some challenges there, how that resolves, and this energy brings us into the season of Samhain. So starting off here, where we're coming into this, we have that Queen of Swords. And this deck, seems a little less aloof than in a lot of decks, but she still has that sort of air, mental kind of energy. So it really has those last things we need to do probably need to be done thoughtfully and with deliberation.
Yeah, she's very direct.
Yeah.
Very blunt, very like concise, and very sort of just like, there exactly. This is what we're doing today.
So that kind of hints at where we need to start from is a place of deliberation and forethought. The stuff we need to focus on is the Ten of Swords. I tell clients it's one of the ugliest cards in the deck. I'm not thinking this is hinting that we need to stab somebody a lot.
Well, maybe that we're stuck.
And maybe the thing we need to focus on that harvest is maybe harvesting some of those negative thoughts and things that kind of hold us back.
Right.
Because that swords is very much that air element, that thought side of things. And the challenge may be this Four of Swords reversed, is maybe the hard part with that is we don't have that rest or that time to really focus those energies.
It's very much, you're kind of bleeding out with that Ten of Swords, so like you gotta hurry, you have to get like that triage kick-started today. There's no time for rest, there's no time for like just vibing, you gotta go now.
And that could be it, that challenge is gonna be pushing through.
Yeah.
And down here, the resolution of this, which is interesting as a part of harvest kind of stuff, we have our harvest character with the Seven of Pentacles. And he's feeling reversed.
Yeah, feeling very pushed. Where's the patience? Very rushed.
Patience, how long does that take?
At least 20 minutes.
And so the resolution of all of this may very well be, sometimes we can't get it all done. Sometimes we can't harvest it. And that's where this deliberation can come in to help us. We can really prioritize our actions. Moving into where we're starting at, moving into the more contemplative side of the year, the quiet, less active, we have the High Priestess reversed. I'm feeling this one is all about maybe we need to look a little further inside.
Yeah.
Reflect on maybe how we got to this, why we had to push, what did we not.
Well, also the study aspect or research, GTS it, we didn't do that. So it's that taking that time that maybe we need to spend a little more time doing a little more research, a little more thought.
Mm-hmm.
We had that very self-assured sort of aspect, and as it turns out, that was wrong. So we have to kind of dig for those answers a little bit more than we did
It's like,
before.
I'm right. Oh, I'm
Oh
wrong.
no, God.
It's like, oops.
And our challenge in this more introspective side with our Three of Cups, which a lot of times comes across as a very celebratory kind of thing, but it can also talk about excess.
Yeah.
And that indulging our hearts, that element of water side a little bit too much.
Yes.
So
Indulging maybe some of those thoughts that we should have gotten rid of or try to get rid of, that we maybe indulged them too much.
and then coming into a resolution of this, we have the Eight of Pentacles. And with the Eight of Pence, we have a little apprentice guy, and he's working away. He's finally focused.
Yes.
Our resolution to this could very well be, okay, time to go to work.
Right, and also because you got the blind there, maybe to remove or to put a barrier between you and some maybe those thoughts that you've been having that's holding you up, to separate yourselves from them so you can get down to work.
And this is what you're referring to, that the shutter
Right.
is a sort of the blind, the barrier.
Giving yourself the time and the space to actually focus on all these details instead of just being like,
Distracted.
they're fine, they're cool.
You decided to be distracted constantly.
Yeah.
And this energy, this card a lot of times shows up to me as a patience card. He's sent his ships out into the world. This is the Three of Wands. He's waiting on them to return. He's waiting on a way to use that energy. But Wands is that fire. That's an energetic aspect.
Mm-hmm.
So as we move into that, it could be bringing these things in together in such a way that we do slow down. We're not in a hurry to put energy out there, but to focus it.
All right. Well, sounds good. I like that. All right. Can I get you to throw my cards for me, Tracy? It's a little bit farther reach.
And as a trivial note, that flurry of activity that I mentioned as the first half of this spread, I experienced as I finished designing this spread.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1 at the bottom and then 2 lines of 3. Yeah. And yeah. Got it. So mine's going to be called the Fall Fling or the Fall Festival. You know, we always say when the fall comes around, we start having parties and, you know, people are having the fairs and schools are all having their little, you know, really is based off the whole, you know, Mabon or the fall, you know, equinox. I can't think of what I'm trying to say. The harvest, geez, couldn't think of it. So, you know, often they have the hay rides and stuff like that. In this case, it's about that bountiful. It's about bringing in that harvest. So the first card, the one closest to us, is your card, Signifactor. It represents you. The second line, I'm sorry, Steve, I'm just gonna keep hitting you. This line here is advice on maybe what things to do or not do, watch out for, or to embrace to achieve this line. And this is gonna be love, health, and wealth. So those 3 aspects in our lives. So just a really quick, simple reading.
Love,
Health, and wealth. So our first card here is, because I really can't see it,
Ace of Wands.
Ace of Wands. So we're all about new beginnings, huh? Taking that action, you know, getting ready. Let's do this thing, you know. It's fall, let's harvest this. Let's jump in because I want my balance to come into me, right? So if we look into the love one, here we got the 2 of Cups.
Literal love.
Literal love, yeah. Bringing things together. So the advice here is let things come together. Bring those things in. You know, let things resonate. Let those desires that you have meet, because obviously there's someone else who could probably have the same ones.
Yeah.
All right. So I can't see the last card. I'm gonna have to look up that because I'm really far away. Justice reversed. Wow. Isn't that a kicker? It's like, so you tied that advice now, going, how are we going to deal with that justice reversed? Well, maybe that advice is allowing those desires to happen. Let the meeting happen. You know, it's one of those things. Well, you know, I can't. I want love. Well, what are you doing? Well, nothing. Well, it's hard to meet someone when you don't do anything.
Things are out of
Yeah.
balance, and so you really have to pay a lot of attention to that.
Right. You do fairness, but if you don't, like, what's your hobbies? What do you like to do? If you don't go do something, how are you going to meet people? So if you don't step out to meet someone, then you're right. You're not going to. It's not like it's just someone's going to walk in your house and go, "Hey, you want to go out?" You know. So to bring that love in is that you get to put yourself out there, and you're going to have to make that meeting happen.
And a lot of times, and it's shown in this too, a lot of times the Justice card shows a figure between 2 columns, like they're standing in a doorway through which you need to go.
Exactly. So the next one is we have the Chariot. We have, looks like the 9 of...
I call it power. Is that wands? No, that's not wands. Yeah, that's wands.
That's Wands. Yeah,
Yeah.
9 of Wands. Yep. So literally 9 of Wands. All right. So the 9 of Wands reversed. You know, it's that stamina card. So this is our health. Funny how that worked out. So here we have the health card, stamina. You know, you've taken your beatings, you've taken this, but you're still standing. So, you know, there's that health aspect. And the Chariot is about, let's bring things together. Let's bring that harmony in there, right? You know, it's the yin and yang. It's that bringing all that together. Even though we get maybe opposing forces that don't want to play well together, trying to get them and bring them into harmony. So we do end up, you know, I'm still standing. I may have had a, you know, rough year. So it shows me, well, we're going to have probably a little bit of roughness going in, but we're still going to be standing at the end. And the idea is let's bring in those powers, let's bring in that balance and those opposite opposing forces.
And the Chariot, for me, often has that sense of energy itself. I mean, the chariots were the tanks of the ancient battlefield.
Yeah, I mean, train, you know, in this case. So here's that locomotive, you know, and it brings things too. So it's one that get in it, they traveled on it. It expedited their way. All right. So going into the wealth, we have
This is the 5 of Cups. Is that the cup symbol on this one?
Yeah.
The group of disappointment, so it tracks.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the Magician.
reversed.
Yeah, of course.
Well, Doesn't bode too well for our wealth, does it?
If you weren't so emo, maybe you'd have more money.
Yeah. Well, and maybe that's part of it. Maybe if we were, what was that, the 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here, the 5 of Cups. Well, it is a bit about acceptance, though, too.
Mhm.
And letting go. Instead of lamenting on something or something grieving, sometimes just going, well, that sucked, but that is what it is.
Right.
Then sometimes understanding that we may not be where we want to be, and that's okay. Maybe we're headed the right direction, maybe we're just not there yet. Maybe that magician doesn't quite have all the tools he needs
No.
to be successful. And we have to sometimes accept the fact that at the moment we don't have that. But what can I do to get that and to keep working toward that?
And I think that's the salient point. Is a lot of times we see the magician as the pinnacle of competence and self-assuredness and knowledge. And maybe the magician reversed in this case is not the opposite of that, but a realization that I need to learn something else. I don't know enough to do what I need to do.
And I have to accept that, I can't keep trying to force it.
Right.
Quit putting money in the stock market when it keeps going down.
Stop
Maybe-
investing in crypto.
Yeah, stop investing in crypto. Maybe I did a little research in there before continue, and accept that maybe you just don't have all the information.
And
I
very
mean,
much, especially when he's reversed, it's very much you might be a jack of all trades, but you stretch yourself way too thin. You really kind of allocated energy in too many places. Just coalesce it. Figure it
So,
out.
and as you're the one of wands, it's about taking action, getting that action started. So maybe in that case, it is about, well, let's learn what we don't know.
Right.
Okay. That one's mine.
Yay! And Stevie is going to do our new segment that we started on the. Here's a card we're going to talk about.
Yeah. We did the moon a month or two ago. I don't remember now.
Feels like it was
yesterday. So we're gonna do the sun this time. In the slow holler deck, it is a pheasant and a sunflower. Because this deck likes to rename and kind of reshift some of the contextualizations of it. Let's see here.
Pheasant.
A pheasant.
Pheasant.
Really all about looking at the sense of abundance, that sense of clarity, that sense of we've kind of struggled through like the moon card of like the shadows and the hidden and that emotional aspect, and now it's just finally that kind of light at the end of the tunnel, clarity and kind of that realization of like, oh, here's what we do with this now.
Yeah, fulfilling.
It's very fulfilling and very much taking action, or at least having that good idea of action to take now that you've muddled through things a little bit beforehand.
And it has I'm assuming this is a flower.
Sunflower.
Sunflower.
Yeah.
Seems reasonable to
Which
assume.
shows up. The sunflower itself shows up on a lot of sun cards, but its prominence in this card really speaks to that. The flowers themselves respond to that energy of the sun, and that's
Yes.
when they begin to bloom.
Yes.
Get that nice guiding force of things.
Cool. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. I'm Mitchell.
I'm Stevie.
I'm Skaji. He calls me Tracy.
Tracy, Scott, in case you're forgotten. But don't forget that we do have Tea and Tarot coming up. The September 1st. It is a free event, so come join us here at Books, Beans, and Candles in Birmingham, Alabama, if you didn't know we were. And also remember that we do have the Psychic Fair coming up at the end of this month, and Ellen's class. So we got some 2 big things. So call and register, or come by. That way you can reserve and make sure you got a spot. Other than that, that's all I got, guys.
Tea and Tarot starts at live starts at 6:30.
6:30, yes, in person, 6:30.
The first Friday of each month.
Yes. All right, guys, thank you very much. Have a great day. And
Safe journeys.
Safe journeys.